What's up, guys? Alright, today I want to talk about stringing a guitar. How to put a string on your guitar. This is really important to learn before we learn our chords. So we learned how to tune our guitar, right? So you're playing along and ding, you lose a string. Oh, man, what do you do? So gotta buy new strings, which is unfortunate, but it happens all the time. Guys will play even professionals, in the middle of a song, it just goes. So either you're strumming too hard sometimes, or eventually the strings will get weak. So you'll break strings, and it's part of it. So I'm gonna teach you how to change a string on your guitar. I actually broke the very bottom E string off of my electric guitar. So I'm gonna show you how you can do it on electric. Same concept though, really. It's a little different, but I'll try to do it quickly, and show you the details so we can do this. Learn how to do this fairly easily. So first off, I want to kind of explain a few things on an acoustic guitar. So you see how I'll be moving the computer around quite a bit on this video, so on this lesson. So this is our top string E, our bass note. This is our bottom string E. So this is the one that I think some of us may have some trouble with. We're going to be replacing this. Now, if you look at this, all these strings, 6 of these, they're going up and they're going inside. They're going in here. So when you're tuning it, when you tune down, when you're holding it like this, and you're going towards you, it's getting lower. You want to go, when you turn it away from you, you want to turn it counterclockwise to go higher. So clockwise is low, counterclockwise is high. So, but on the bottom, it's the opposite. Coming towards you, clockwise is high. Going away from you is low. So that's helpful when you're playing. You get used to that. Okay, so there's that. This is going to be a video you're going to have to review several times, and it's okay. You'll get it eventually. But when you do string these, you want the string coming up and going around this. Coming up here and going around that way. So you want these to go counterclockwise and these to go clockwise. So it's a little confusing, I know, but these are just the facts. So, and the other thing I wanted to show you, if I can get it in here, when you're wrapping the strings around these knobs, you want to wrap it like 3 or 4 times. You see how how they're wrapped around there 3 or 4 times? That's what you want to look for. And I'll show you how to do that now. And this is going to be different, like I said, because this is going to be on electric. This is one that I'm working on, and here we go. So, on an electric guitar, but any guitar really, actually I'm gonna pull this out. There we are. All right. Now, there's 2 places where strings connect to your guitar. Down by the bridge, and this goes for all guitars. Down by the bridge and down by your gear heads. Connect. These are gear heads and tuning knobs, but so it connects down here and it connects down here. On this guitar, the string goes down in here, and then these pins keep it inside there like that. That's how this guitar is. On the electric guitar, it has a plate, which I took off already, and it sits like this. But as you can see, down here, there's 6 big holes. So the strings go in there, and I don't know if you can see, you can kinda, you can't really see them, but anyway, they go in there, and then they come out right there, and it wraps all the way up to the top. So, I believe on your guitars, there's the bridge, it'll just be flat, and it'll kind of go through like these screws. It'll look like that, and that's really simple. They just go right through those holes. If those were holes right there, your string would go right through there. So let's continue on here. So when you buy strings, it's going to come in a packet like this, but this is a different brand than what you'll be getting. This is a cheap electric guitar strings, and I don't play electric very much, so I just buy the cheap ones, and that's totally cool. So when you open it up, you're going to have 6 packets like this, and they're going to be different gauge, and your highest one, this one is 52. That's my bass string. That's the really thick string. That's your biggest bass note. That's my 52. So that's not what I want. And when they come in here, they come organized to where the one that you pull out first is going to be your bass note, your biggest string. So I'm going to set that down. That's not the one we want. All right, that's their second one. I'm going to replace the last E string. Remember what I was saying at the very beginning? Very last one. So I want the very smallest string. So I'm just going to keep setting it down until I get to the very last. Alright, so it's the 10 gauge. And with acoustics, it can be different. So this is the one I want, and I have already taken it out. Okay, and I actually already put it on the guitar. And, but I'll show you how I did it. So that's that. To show you what they look like, they come just wrapped up like this. Now, I just grabbed the B string. So a string is just wrapped up. This is one string. So this is actually, my bad, this is the A. This is the A string. Doesn't really matter. They're all exactly the same in design, but the gauge is different. And you'll be able to, you know what I mean. There, it's this the thickness of the string is bigger and smaller. So this right here, this is one end, and the other end it just stops. So this is the end that goes into the bridge of your guitar, the very base of the guitar, down here, on acoustic, electric, anything. So this little, I don't know what you call it, washer or nut of some sort, that holds in place. When I shove it through the hole back here, it gets smaller, so then this is sitting in here. Well, I can't do it because I already have one in there, but I'll go ahead and take this off and show you. Okay, so let me push this out. Okay, you see that? That's the end, and I stuck it all right through there. It goes in that, and it's stuck in there, and it can't come out. That's what it's like on any guitar. And anyway, so yeah, on different guitars, like the one I have there, my acoustic guitar, I'll slide in the nut end first, and then that pin keeps it in place. I believe the ones that you guys have will be similar to that, but it'll be laying on top of the bridge, and you'll slide it up through it, and it'll go all the way up to the top. So it'll be fairly easy to understand once you're doing it, but okay. That's the easiest part about it. It's really not difficult. So here is the harder part. When you when you string a guitar, you come up, like I got the, let me adjust this a little bit. So I got my bridge in place. It's staying down there, right? It's not coming any further. So I'm on the last string, and on this electric, it's a little different. I'm wrapping counterclockwise on all of them because they're all going the same direction. But that's just the way it is. That's all good. I'm going to try to get my computer set here in a way that you can see what I am doing. Ugh. All right, hopefully that's decent. Find my string. All right. So each of these have holes. You can see the hole right there, and that's where your string goes in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the end of my string right in there. So you saw that, right? Just goes right in there. So all these strings are the same length, and the length, you're going to cut this off in the end. So, and I'm going to pull it tight. So it's not like super tight, it's just snug. And down here, just the way it's designed, I have to go like that, but I can do it later. So I've gone through the hole, and I've gone tight, okay? I'm going to hold it right here. I'm going to raise this up just a little so you can see something. Then I'm going to grab the string right here. I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to kind of let go over here. And I'm going to drag it back. That's kind of giving me some resistance. I'm going to drag it back to the first fret. Now, what that will do, that'll give me 3 wraps around this knob. That's what that's going to do. I've already done this, so my cord's a little crooked, but alright, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of snug this back up without pulling it. So, I don't know if you can see it or not, but my string is hanging out this direction, and it's pretty loose. But that's how much slack we need, okay? So, I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to kind of pinch it off this direction. I don't know if you could see that. I'm going to hold this right here. But so I've fed it through, and I'm just going to kind of pinch it off, right? I want to keep it up in the air. Got all these other strings, but I want to keep it up in the air. And so I'm going to hold it kind of like this. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start turning. Now, as I discussed earlier, I'm going to turn, when I turn clockwise on this, it goes down. When I turn counterclockwise, it goes up. Same way with all of them. So I'm going to go clockwise, and I'm going to start turning this. And actually, I'm going to switch my fingers so you can see. Hold this in place. Still got my slack. And I'm going to start turning. And this takes quite some time. And that's going to spin that knob. And I'll get my finger out of the way here and show you what I'm doing here in just a second. But bear with me. This does take a long time. There's a little tool you can use for this. So it's kind of frustrating, but that's the way it goes. It's the way it has to be. Alright, so here we got started. I'll pull my computer in here so we can maybe, hopefully. Woo! Alright. Oh, back up just a little bit. There we are. So it's still too far. No, not. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I'm going underneath all my strings. So I'm constantly turning it and keeping this right underneath the next row. Da, 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 da. Now, I'm going to try to move the computer a little bit so so you can see what I'm looking at. It might be a little hard to do, but if you can see that, I'm sorry, I apologize for the bad quality here, but you'll start to notice that I'm gaining rows, right? And that the string is at the top. The end appears at the top. So I'm going to start cranking. And you'll be able to see this kind of when I get towards the end. I'll show you what I'm doing a little better. But so I'm kind of holding the string like this, kind of up in the air, but I'm holding it down here. And now I'm going to start cranking it until it's snug, until there's no more slack, until there's no more slack down here. So, and I make sure the string stays, which actually going a little high. So you know it's fine. I'm going to take it back down. I'm going to fix it just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Now, with each new wrap, I want it to be lower, the lowest one. So I'm still turning and it's still tightening. Alright, good. And it's starting to get snug on here, which is good. Alright. So I'm going to put it everywhere that it should be. Okay. We'll just go ahead and kind of stop there. And I'll show you what I did. That was probably pretty hard to follow, but there's not a really better way that I can do it, just with my quality here. But all right, so if you can see this, it's really hard because it's a very small string. The string that I have at the top, if I can get this to focus, is at the very top, right there. It's not underneath the strings and out. The string itself that came through the hole is the very top row. And then everything after that has wrapped underneath it. One row following the next one, following the next one, following the next one. That's what you want. You want like 3 or 4 rows. And if you don't get it, 3 or 4, if you get it in like 2, just go ahead and unloosen it and give yourself a little more slack, and then kind of hold it down here, hold it in place, however it works best for you, and then start cranking it again. And just remember to keep pushing that every new wrap is the lowest one around this pin. It's really difficult, I'm sorry, but that's the best way that I can show you how to do it. And it's rough. But let's go ahead and tune it here. I got everything else tuned, so it's gonna follow that. So I'm just gonna run it. Throw my tuner on here. I can fit this on anywhere. I'm looking for E, right? And it matches the bass string, correct? Because that's E. And this is E. So that's kind of that helps me figure out if I'm close or not. They sound the same, but they're a little different. Crank it. Alright, I'm there. Okay, so that's it. It's a long video, and it's kind of an annoying video, but that's the best way that I could, the quickest way that I could show you how to change a string on your guitar. And then I'm going to take, last thing, take some snips here and just cut it off right at the base of that. So like right here. Ugh. As close as you can to to that knob. Alright. I gotta cut all these other ones, but there it is. And yeah. So you can kind of push that down a little bit so it doesn't slip out or what have you. But as you can tell from an acoustic guitar, maybe a little easier to change, but easier to see on the bass note how it's wrapped around there and stuff. But so I believe this is the one you want to do. Just don't forget it wraps in here, goes around counterclockwise, but when you're tightening it, you're going to be turning it clockwise, lower counterclockwise. So when it's going up, you want it to go in and then start going around. So good luck. Sorry if it's confusing. Maybe we can do this in person, face to face sometime, but that should get you through it. Alright guys, next episode or lesson we'll be starting to work on chords, so I'm excited about that, and we'll start learning some songs. So alright guys, take it easy.